Hi everybody, Ezra Levant here from Rebel News. I'm in the heart of London, as you can see by all the double-decker buses around me. I have an emergency Tommy Robinson update for you. It's not yesterday's news that Tommy purged his contempt of court and will thus be released from solitary confinement in a few days. That was yesterday's news. Today's news is that the Crown Prosecution Service, those are the prosecutors here in the UK, they used to be run by Keir Starmer, who's now the Prime Minister. They have announced to the press that they intend to prosecute Tommy Robinson again for new charges. And I had to look up what these charges were. Apparently, 2 or 3 paparazzi who were stalking Tommy Robinson and his young children at a summer vacation last year. Tommy Robinson flipped the script, and after that, Tommy did some paparazzi work on them, taking photos of them. And these paparazzi, who make their living invading people's privacy, menacing, threatening, doxing, these paparazzi, including from the Daily Mail, sent reporters to Tommy's family vacation in Europe, camped out in the same hotel, and surreptitiously took photographs and videos, not just of Tommy, but of his minor children. It was absolutely dangerous because Tommy has had many threats to his life. In fact, in the UK, they have something called an Osmond warning, where when police have sufficient information that your life is in danger, they physically meet you at your home and present you with a written summary of the threat to your life. Tommy has had more than 10 Osmond warnings, and in some cases, the terrorists have actually been caught. My point is, if you dox Tommy Robinson on a family vacation with his children, if you say where he is with his children, you have put him and his children at great risk, let alone photographing and filming them. Tommy had to immediately leave the resort so as not to put his kids at risk anymore. And as a taste of their own medicine, he later took photos of all 3 paparazzi at their house, which they didn't like very much. Now, Tommy didn't dox them. He didn't publish their address. He didn't show their kids. He was just basically saying, how do you like them apples? The paparazzi, the hunters can become the hunted. Well, you know, you'd think that paparazzi of all people would be fine with having their photos taken, but not these tender souls, not these sensitive people. So they obviously complained to the police, which would normally laugh them off. I mean, paparazzo are the lowest of the low by many counts, especially in this country where they led to the death of Princess Diana. Well, the paparazzi have complained to the police and said, police, you've got to arrest Tommy Robinson for taking our pictures. And the reason this is interesting is twofold. First of all, it's a perfectly controlled experiment. In it, you have Tommy Robinson and a couple of paparazzi, and they have done the exact same thing to each other, taken each other's pictures unwanted. But only one is being prosecuted. Do you see what I mean about two-tier justice? That whether you'll be prosecuted or not, whether you'll be punished or not, depends on your politics. This is the perfect controlled experiment showing that the UK now has 2 tiers of justice. But the second thing it shows me is something much more worrying, which is I don't think that Tommy Robinson can ever be free in the United Kingdom anymore. They'll always find something, as Lavrentiy Beria, the late Soviet secret police chief, once said to Stalin, "Show me the man and I'll find you the crime," by which he meant, I'll get something on anyone, you just tell me who, and I'll stitch them up, I'll frame them, I'll get them on some technicality, you just tell me who. And that's what they're doing to Tommy Robinson. You know, a few months ago, he was asked by police, they didn't have a search warrant for the passcode to his phone. He said, no, get a warrant. They took his phone, and they're charging him under the Terrorism Act for not giving them his phone password, even though they didn't have a search warrant for it. So that's an example of, show me the man, I'll find you the crime. Same thing here too. Tommy Robinson took pictures of some paparazzi and posted them, giving them a taste of their own medicine. Show me the man, I'll find you the crime. Apparently that's criminal harassment now. When you do it to paparazzi, that's what's so incredible here. The worst people in the world who were stalking Tommy and his family on their family vacation. There's no public interest in what they did. they're now the dainty, offended ones. I'd laugh if it weren't so atrocious. I think that Tommy Robinson has become the enemy of the state here in the UK, and I do not believe that he is capable of getting a fair treatment by the total system, whether it's the police harassing him, the prosecutors, the judiciary. I simply do not believe that the United Kingdom is a free and fair place for him. And what starts with him doesn't end with him. I always say it's easier to fight for freedom in the first ditch, not the last ditch. It's Tommy Robinson today. Then they'll go after Lucy Connolly, the wife of a minor conservative politician. Lucy, in a dramatic moment, made a tweet talking about riots, and she was very upset, and she wrote a mean tweet. She took it down hours later. So what? She was prosecuted and is now spending 31 months in prison for a mean tweet. First they came for Tommy, then they went for Lucy Connolly, then they'll come for Nigel Farage, and then they'll come for you. That's how it always is. That's how it is when it comes to legal precedents. And that's one of the reasons I come here to PK, is what happens here today. If we're not careful, it's going to happen in our own countries, in Canada in 5 years, and in the USA in 10. If you want to follow along with my reporting, go to TommyReports.com. The reason I've hung around here in London is because hopefully Tommy will be released from prison in a couple of days if this latest stunt by the police and the Crown prosecutors doesn't get in the way of that. I look forward to talking to Tommy. They've refused the permission to visit him in prison. They've been very abusive to him, petty. I would say that they've been sadistic. You can see all my reports to that effect at TommyReports.com. If you want to chip in to help me crowdfund the cost of my economy class journey, you can do that at TommyReports.com also. All right, I'll keep you posted. Thanks. Oh, one more thing. You know, this is the second or third take of this video. A taxi driver was driving by and heard me talk about Tommy and recognized me, and he rolled down the window and had a little hello. I stopped the camera because I didn't want to dox him. I mean, he'd get in trouble for talking to me about Tommy Robinson. But I'll show you a little taste of that with his bass player. Take a look at this. Media in the UK. Hi, how are you?
Right, Tommy.
I was just talking about Tommy, yeah. You know what? That tells me there's a lot of people in the United Kingdom who don't like the authoritarian police state it's turning into. There's a lot of people who support Tommy Robinson. They're just not the fancy people. There'll come a point in time when there's more regular people for freedom that it'll outweigh the power of the fancy people. I think we're getting there soon.